Öncelikle şehitlerimizin ardından saygı duruşu, Amerikan ve Türk İstiklal Marşlarıyla programımıza başlıyoruz.
Ey Türk gençliği! Birinci vazifen, Türk istiklalini, Türk Cumhuriyeti'ni ilelebet muhafaza ve müdafaa etmektir. Muhtaç olduğun kudret, damarlarındaki asil kanda mevcuttur. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Türk gençliği hedeflerine tutkuyla bağlı olduğu sürece, Türkiye daha iyi yarınlara ulaşacak. Atamızın izinde ülkemizi tüm dünyaya daha iyi anlatmak için çalışıyoruz. 19 Mayıs Atatürk'ü anma Gençlik ve Spor Bayramımız kutlu olsun.
Büyük Önder Atatürk'ün 19 Mayıs 1919'da Samsun'a çıkarak başlattığı milli mücadelemiz, Türk tarihinin önemli dönüm noktalarından biridir. Tarihi boyunca bağımsız yaşamış olan Türk milletinin yine dünya üzerindeki varlığını hür, bağımsız olarak sürdürmesi için buna inanan ve Türk milletini yine kendi azim ve kararlılığı kurtaracaktır diyen Gazi Mustafa Kemal Atatürk'ü, yüce önderimizi 7'den 70'e, kuzeylisi güneylisi, doğulusu batılısı her insanımızı arkasına alarak milli mücadeleyi başlatmış ve tüm yoksulluğa, yokluğa rağmen bu mücadelede Türk milletini başarılarla elde ettiği bağımsızlıkla taçlandırmıştır. Bağımsızlığımızın nasıl elde edildiğini, hangi zorluklarla kazanıldığını herkesin bilmesi gerekmektedir. Bu açıdan milli mücadele sonrası 29 Ekim 1923'te ilan edilen Cumhuriyetimizle dünya milletler arasında şerefli yerini almıştır. Atatürk en büyük eserim dediği Cumhuriyeti, demokratik, layık, sosyal hukuk devleti olan Türkiye Cumhuriyeti'ni Türk gençliğine emanet etmiştir. Türk gençliği bugüne kadar olduğu gibi bundan sonra da atasının emanetine, Cumhuriyete sahip çıkacak, onun gösterdiği hedef olan çağdaş uygarlık düzeyinde üzerine çıkarılması için üzerine düşen görevi yerine getirecektir. Buna yürekten inanıyoruz. Birlik, beraberlik içinde birbirine sevgiyle yaklaşan, iyi eğitim almış, teknolojik kabiliyetlerle donatılmış Türk gençliği ülkemizi en iyi şekilde taşıyacaktır. Milli mücadeledeki inanç, birlik, beraberliğin ve her zaman örnek alınarak aynı kararlılıkla sürdürülmesi, ülkemizin başarıya ulaşmasında en büyük etken olacaktır. Bunun bozulmasında da başta Türk gençliği olmak üzere Türk milleti fırsat vermeyecektir. Bayrağımız hür olarak vatan toprakları üzerinde dalgalanıyorsa, bunu borçlu olduğumuz Büyük Atatürk başta olmak üzere bütün şehitlerimizi rahmet, minnet ve şükranla anıyoruz. Hayatta olan gazilerimize sağlık diliyor. Tüm gençlerimizin 19 Mayıs Atatürk Anma Gençlik ve Spor Bayramı'nı sevgi ve saygıyla TASC ailesi olarak kutluyoruz. Şimdi konuşmalarını yapmak üzere Ezgi Esin hanımefendiyi mikrofona davet ediyorum.
Kıymetli katılımcılar, 19 Mayıs Atatürk Anma Gençlik ve Spor Bayramı adına düzenlediğimiz etkinliğimize başta genç arkadaşlarım olmak üzere herkese katılımı için teşekkür ediyorum. Her 19 Mayıs tarihini azalmayan bir tutku ve özveriyle anarsak ve bu coşkuyla kutlarsak bu anlamlı günü daha da anlamlı hale getirebiliriz diye düşünüyorum. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk Cumhuriyetimizi gençliğe emanet etmiştir. Onun gençlere olan inancı ve umudu sonsuzdu. Burada akranlarım, kendimden yaşça küçük ve büyük arkadaşlarımı, gençleri görmekten onur duyuyorum. Hepinize tekrar hoş geldiniz demek istiyorum. Atatürk, Türk gençliğindeki ışığı her zaman görmüş ve ülkemizi onlara emanet etmiştir. Türkiye'miz için her zaman tetikte olmak, birliğimizi, bütünlüğümüzü tehlikeye atabilecek her türlü dış etkene karşı hep beraber dimdik durabilmek, ülkemizi huzur ve barış içinde bir arada tutabilmek elbette ki her Türk gencinin asli görevidir. Biliyorum ki sizler de bu satırları nihai amaç haline getirmiş, ülkesini seven ve ülkesini dünyanın her yerinde temsil etmekten onur duyan gençlersiniz. Ben de sizlerle gurur duyuyor ve teşekkür ediyorum. Sizlerin parlak zekası, girişimciliği, motivasyonu ve ülkesini her alanda yüceltme arzusu hepimiz için birer umut ışığıdır. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk'ün benim doğum günüm 19 Mayıs'tır sözleriyle taşlandırdığı bu özel günde onu sonsuz minnetle bir kez daha anmak istiyorum. Teşekkür ederim.
Biz teşekkür ediyoruz. Bağımsızlık benim karakterimdir diyen büyük önderimize ve bütün statükocu kuralları alt üst eden, dünya beşten büyüktür diyen Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'ın bu karakter devlet duruşunu da biz gençler olarak, bireysel olarak benimsemiş, bu mihval üzerinde de hareket etmekteyiz. Şimdi sözü kıymetli TASC Başkanımız Halil Mutlu Bey'e bırakmak istiyorum. Buyurun efendim.
Sami Bey kardeşim, değerli genç arkadaşlarım, TASC gönüllüleri, bu güzel anlamlı günde bugünü bizlere armağan eden başta Mustafa Kemal Atatürk olmak üzere tüm şehitlerimize ve gazilerimize burada şükranlarımı arz ediyorum. Vatanın ümidi olan genç kardeşlerime, genç nesillerin bu enerjisiyle beraber Türk milletinin geleceğini gören Mustafa Kemal Atatürk ve size arkadaşlarına, çalışma arkadaşlarına tekrar burada saygı ve hürmetlerimizi arz ediyoruz. Ruhları şad olsun. Bu vesileyle 19 Mayıs Atatürk'ü Anma Gençlik ve Spor Bayramınız kutlu olsun. Tabii biz bugün Amerika'da yaşayan diaspora üyeleri olarak ve diasporanın temsilcisi olan önde giden derneklerden birisi olan TASC olarak farklı bir kutlama şekli geliştirdik ve dedik ki bugünü sadece Atatürk'ü Anma Gençlik ve Spor Bayramımız olarak değil, ayrıca Amerika'daki diasporanın siyasetlere ulaşması ve Amerikan siyasetinde de artık etkin halde olabilmesi için bir eğitim vesilesi haline dönüştürelim dedik ve bu yüzden bugünü başkent siyasilerle birlikte olma, beraber olma ve siyasileri buraya getirip bu bayramı beraber kutlayalım dedik ve bunun adına da Capitol Hill Advocacy Day dedik. Bunun birincisini yaşıyoruz bu sene. Bu da bizim için ayrı bir gurur kaynağı. Bu vesileyle şahsınıza Sami Bey kardeşim, tüm katılan, görev alan TASC ailesine ve Amerika'da yaşayan Türk toplumuma saygı ve hürmetlerimi ve selamlarımı sunuyorum. Bayramımız mübarek olsun, hayırlı mübarek olsun diyorum. Teşekkür ederim.
Çok teşekkür ederiz Sayın Başkanım programımıza katıldığınız için. Kıymetli konuklarımız, 19 Mayıs Atatürk Anma ve Gençlik ve Spor Bayramı anma toplantımızın sonuna geldik. Sizleri TASC TV platformlarında ağırlamak büyük bir kıvanç, büyük bir şerefti. Her birinize teşekkür ediyor. Saygı ve hürmetlerimizi sunuyoruz.
Şimdi devam ediyoruz. Tabii ki programımızın ikinci aşamasına devam edeceğiz. Sami, istersen Süleyman'a sözü bırakalım.
Evet, Mir Süleyman, are you here, brother?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
How are you? You're welcome.
Hello.
That's a very nice background, Süleyman.
Yes.
Thank you. It's the goals for the next couple of years, right? Inshallah. So yeah, I believe we have a few folks joining us for the next panel. So we still have a couple more minutes, inshallah. So do we want to start now, or we could?
Yeah, let's start now. Let's talk about what the Capitol Hill Advocacy is about, what we are trying to achieve here, and what our messages are. And let's give a brief talk about it.
Yeah. So inshallah. So with celebrating the National Youth Day in Turkey, and also happy National Youth Day to everybody, and for the young folks who are joining us. So pretty much Capitol Hill Day is for pretty much for Turkish youth and for all youth to really understand how civic engagement, how important civic engagement is. Within the last year, we've seen that youth have become more and more involved with getting involved in politics and really getting out to vote. And the youth voice was the prominent voice to really get leaders elected, like Joe Biden and like AOC, Jamal Bowman, really key players who are now allies of the Muslim community. And hopefully we plan to really expand that. So today we have like a handful of folks who are running for office, who are in office, and who are formerly in office. I do see we have two people on, so I definitely want to give some time to them to really speak on like why it's important for the youth to really become civically engaged. We have a whole list from going from local office all the way up to the congressional to Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. So with that, I'm going to start off really quick with starting from the most local of offices, and actually one of the most important places, which is the district leader. So with that, I'm actually going to pass it up to my mother, who is actually running for district leader for the Democratic Party in Staten Island, in the most hardest of places to run as a Democrat on Staten Island. And she's doing this as the first person of color and the first woman and Muslim to run in Staten Island. So with that, I'm going to give it off to Shahana Masoom, who is running for district leader in Staten Island.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to this event. It looks very good. I see so many familiar faces and who are our always friends and always been with the community. And I feel very excited and energetic when I see the people from the community who works for the community, who keep the community first. My name is Shahana Masoom, and my background is Bangladeshi American, but I've been here quite long. I came here when I was my teenage, and I am running for district leader. It's a Democrat Party Assembly 61, Assembly District 61, female district leader. Let me tell you a little bit. I know many of you, we already know what is it, but let me tell you what is this. It looks like really little teeny tiny things. It's every party, they have a district leader it goes by the every assembly district. So assembly district is the one is, this is the one is goes like in a state, it's a state leaders. And assembly district, every assembly district has a one male, one female. More than one, and one pair or two pairs. But the district, the county I am running, and that's the district, Assembly District 61, we have one female and one male district leader. So every district leader, what they do, they have to make sure a couple of things. They need to make sure that every voter, if it's a party election, so I'm running on Democrat Party, and I'm gonna be, this position, we have to make sure that every Democrat voter being served with justly and equal, have the equity for serving them. And also we have to make sure that the politician who is already been elected, they are listening to the voters, and they are not, and this district leader is kind of bridge between the voters and the leaders. So district leader also has to make sure that when the leaders are not following according to the party, also the listening to the voter. And also district leader has a authority to appoint county committee members. I know you guys are many of saying, what is this county committee member? County committee member is the power. Today is Jamal Bowman there. If the county committee endorse him at the first, he wouldn't be need to spend that much money, that much power. These county committee members, all county committee members, they elect who is going to be the, party nomination, who is going to get the party nomination, as it goes by the election with the party, with the county committee. So, okay, so that's why it is very important. So it's like a first stage. Many of the people in our community, we know, they don't even know what is the county committee, and they go run for the office. And that's why they have to go extra mile and to, challenge the opponent. So what I'm doing, this is the district leader. Also district leader will be watch out the finance, how the finance being handled, the party finance. As you know, we are here, like most of us, we are like connected with the international. So we are not only thinking about United States, we are also thinking about how United States react with the international relation. This is a start from here. If we make sure, like Democrat Party, they are putting their money where it needs to be, believe me, you need to be a run for district leader, it should be a county committee members. This is the grassroots of the party. So what is I'm running for? Actually, I wasn't really ready for it, and I never had no idea. I mean, I never had no plan to run. Anybody asked me, even Dr. Halil Matnu, a couple of times he whispered me, "When you gonna run?" I said, "No, never." And this is the one just happened. We saw one of the district female district leader. Our disposition get open, and they request me, my assembly member. He's also first Muslim in Albany, that's Charles Falls, and he just called me, and my son was there too, Suleiman, and he said, "Hey, would you like to be run for district leader? I will nominate you." And I was like, "Okay, why not?" I don't know why it comes to me, and then after a while, because we saw that in Staten Island, Richmond County, we don't have colored people. Only we have some African American people, but they're very old age. Another one, no brown people. Forget about Muslims. Only the Muslim was Charles, and especially the hijabis. And I've been in Staten Island last 18, 19 years, and I was subjected to, racial attack by the NYPD. Every day was my Staten Island, subjected to the hate because of my hijab, and my children, they are one of the product of Islamophobia. How they reacted to me and my family. But alhamdulillah, I never changed myself. I stay who I am, and you accept me or not. But so far, I am also running under the endorsement of county committee. That means the county also endorsed me after so many, interview and other things. But this is the one. So please make dua for me. It's not sounds big, it's little, but if I could be there, I would be the one talk like a Bernie, because I'm also Bernie Sanders delegate. I was Bernie Sanders delegate. So so inshallah it will bring big change. And I will be the first hijabi in whole New York state, district leader as well. Thank you.
So thank you.
That's great. Congrats.
Thank you.
So thanks, Sister Shana. So I know I have one question. I think this is something that all the youth here could also participate in, and that's being part of the county. Can you explain how the youth here could take part in their local county committees? Because I know they're the ones who will be able to vote which candidate the party should support. So if you could give a quick introduction of like how the youth in this group could participate in that.
I didn't get your last one.
Oh, how the youth on this call could participate in getting involved in county committee, and like what would require of them to be participating in county committee members.
Okay, it's very simple. Become a county committee, there is two ways. One is your district leader, which is I'm running for. Your district leader can appoint you as a county committee. And when you become a county committee member, you have to make sure you collect the signature every year for your county. Like anybody is running, you have to make sure it's depend on which area you are. If you are in a like very density area, then you need more number. If you're in an area there is a less your voter of your party. So I'm running on the Democrat Party. So let me tell you the Democrat Party one. So this is two way it could be a county committee member. Very simple. Make sure talk to your county, like your county leaders, then county office, go to county office, ask that when is the election and I want to run for county committee member. And then you can get a petition sign paper. You can just download it from website and take it to your neighborhood where you live. And get the Democrat Party, they need to be Democrat Party 18 years and up. They can sign. Democratic Party voter 18 and up. They can sign your petition. You can have like a 20 signature, or you can have like 25 signature or 45. It depends. You have to talk to your county, like how many numbers of the signature they need. Then you can submit those signature signature to your county. And sometimes you have a challenger, maybe somebody else is running, then you're going to be at the ballot. If you don't have a challenger, they will put it in your ED. Okay, let me explain that one. ED is the election district. I know many people, they make mistake. They think ED is the educational district, which is a school district. But ED in an election, Board of Election is a election district. So every ED is a very small. It's like your couple of blocks is a one ED. So that's why they do like each ED, they want to have a one male, one female district leader. So you can, that's why you need to see that which ED you live. You can just Google yourself and you can go to Board of Election and you can see what is the ED you are in. So get the signature from this ED and take it to the Board of Election or take it to your county office. They will take you as a county committee members. And then every year, every time any election comes, you may have to make sure you collect the signature, the petition signature from your neighborhood. You become we become, I'm also a county committee member. So me and my husband, we are the leader of our ED. The ED is 28. Our ED 28, we control the votes. We control the whole Democrat Party votes. And that's why, if you come to my house, you can see all these signs, my yard sign, people will see who are the people in our yard sign, they're going to go vote for them. This is the way is the local grassroots level works. So please, every single one is here. You are American citizen, you are voter 18 and up, become the county committee member, more county committee member. I'm just giving you one example. Right after the Donald Trump became the president, the women who marched, they invited me to on of the event. And they asked me, Shahana, how can we be more active in the community and the politics? And then I told them, just become county committee member. If you become county committee member, then you will see our county, you're gonna rule. And another 2 years, what happened? They did all the process of county committee member. I mean, it's a long story short. Then 2 years ago, we had 55 new county committee member, all these women and young men, and they're progressive. That's why you can see the last our county elected, and those are the county committee member, like they also elected me. Otherwise, if it's the old county committee member was there, they wouldn't elect me because they're Islamophobic, they're xenophobic. So this is the way it works. So then you elect who is going to be your party nomination, who will get your party nomination. So this is very important to become the county committee member. So from today, when you're off from this event, every single one, put it in your mind, I want to be a county committee member. This is your first hit. This is the strong, even though every congressman, they are county committee member in their county because they don't want to lose their county committee member in a position, because that's the position brought them up there. Did I make it clear? Or?
Yeah, so I think we're also gonna need a whole session, like maybe a whole workshop to really explain this, because I think this is a lot of great information, and I think we need more details for the youth. So again, thank you, Sister Shahana, for joining the webinar, and good luck on your on your campaign. Even though we are working on it together, but hopefully you will become the first Muslim person of color running for a Democratic position at the county. So with that, thank you so much. And if anyone has any other questions, please message us and we will forward that to Sister Shahana, and then we'll get back to you on that. So we do have a long list of folks. We have a lot of people coming on. So I'm going to give a quick, so the next one I would like to call former Assembly Member Mike Miller. I do see Assembly Mike Miller on. So I actually do remember Mike Miller. We've been doing lobbying with him in the New York in Albany with the Bangladesh American Advocacy Group. So it's great to see you, sir. So the floor is yours, and then we have a few more folks coming in as well. Oh, you're on.
Yeah, Mr. Mike, please unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for having me today. Thank you for inviting me. I love episodes like this where you can teach people how to go forward. You know, the youth is our future, and we must prepare them to go forward. The best thing for me to do, I think, is just to talk a little bit about how I got where I was, because I was never a political person. I never did politics. I never did county committee. I never did district leader, but I did community work. I did community politics, and I was known in the community, and that's how I was chosen, to do this. But I started many, many, many years ago as a little kid, 10.5 years old. You know, I joined the Boy Scouts. And it sounds like, what are you going to learn from the Boy Scouts? But they taught me community, and they taught me to be a good citizen in the community. And they taught me to make sure that you fight for community needs. And that's what we did. As a kid, you know, we cleaned up the parks and we cleaned up the streets, and, you know, things were tough. I came from Bushwick. It was a tough area back then. And and we fought to keep it nice, you know, and growing up as a grown-up, as I got a little older, you know, in my community of Glendale and Ridgewood, I got active with the Greater Ridgewood Youth Council. And the Greater Ridgewood Youth Council, you know, although as a volunteer, it made me continue my civic engagement in the community to make it a great place. And we taught the young kids in our programs, okay, educational programs and sport programs, everything, to be good citizens and to go out and do the things in your community to make it a great community. And we taught them about having to reach out, you know, to your elected officials and get them active, get them, you know, doing the things that you need to have done in your community. And from there, you know, I joined the Glendale Civilian Observation Patrol. And you say, well, why am I bringing that up? Well, our community was getting tough. Crime was on the uptick. Graffiti was on the uptick. People were dumping all over. And so I wanted to make sure I continued, you know, my engagement in my community and joined GCOP. And we went out and patrolled the streets. So at night when everyone was home sleeping, we were patrolling the streets to keep it safe. We were stopping people from robbing cars and breaking into houses. And at one point, you know, graffiti was just crazy. Wherever you looked, there was a rolled down gate with graffiti on it. And for us, that's a blight on our community. We want it to look beautiful. And so we went out and cleaned up all the rolled down gates, and we started a war on graffiti in our community. And for 2-year time, we were responsible for catching over 280 graffiti vandals. And, you know, you're not looking to put them away, but you're looking to get them to stop doing it. And so we brought them back to clean up the community, and the graffiti that they put on these, you know, walls and stuff and the rolled down gates, it's getting active. All we wanted to do is to preserve and protect the quality of life in our community. And so I'm 60 now. So for 50 years, I worked in my community, doing the things to make my community a better place, reaching out to the people that we needed to reach out to, you know, lobbying the elected officials, okay, lobbying them to do that. We want a light here. We want this done. We want, you know, garbage cleaned up. We actually went around and caught people dumping, like on, you know, Outer Road by us is a railroad track, but people went and dumped. And we sat there and caught them and stopped people from going there and cleaned it up, and it's a beautiful place. That's engagement in a different way. But that's how it got me here. That's how it got me to the assembly, because when there was an opening in this assembly seat, a lot of people were running. I wasn't, you know, but they came to me and said, Mike, we want you to take our community. We want you to be the assemblyman and take us forward. And I was, you know, I was assemblyman for 12 years. It was the greatest job I ever had because you got to help people. And I'll bring it to the youth engagement that we're supposed to be talking about. You know, up in Albany, a lot of people come to talk to you. And a lot of people, you know, are reaching out. They want to get their point across. Lobbyists want to lobby for their group or something. But the best days that I had are when local people came up to talk to me about things. And the best days that I had was when the youth came up and would lobby me about a certain issue. And I just was amazed at how prepared they were and about how much information they brought and how much documentation they showed me just to prove to me that, hey, you know, this is important and we have to do that. And they were young people doing that. And I was amazed at being so prepared at that age. But that's what life gets you, right? Like life prepares you for something like that. So I just wanted to give you a brief, you know, thing about my life and how I got to this point. You know, I got to this point by being active in my community. And I got to this point by pushing people who need to do their job, to do a better job. And so I just wanted to touch base in that respect. And going forward, even now, you know, last year, the pandemic hit. And there were so many needs that community and people in the community needed. And one of them was food. There was a lot of food insecurity, and people were out of work and struggling. And so one of my groups that I'm involved with, the Ozone Park Block Association and COPCP, the Civilian Patrol in Ozone Park, got together to start giving out food, and start giving out food without any connections on how to do that, just that there was a need. And we had a young guy, Khan, who might be on the call, I don't know, but he stepped up, and he's the boss. I mean, he's running this food pantry, making all the connections, you know, doing the job to get food so that we could feed 1,000 people every Saturday. That's a lot of food. It's a lot of boxes. But he reached out and got farmers on Long Island, you know, to donate some food. And one guy said, yeah, I'll give you tomatoes. And he called his friend who, you know, gave corn. And I never saw a 50-pound bag of carrots before, but we got thousands of them. So a young guy in our community, stepping up, taking the lead and making this work. And it's still going today, and he's doing a phenomenal job. So all I could say is get out there, get in your communities, start working, and start lobbying the people that can help you do that. And don't give up until you get what you want. And I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes.
Thank you, Assam. This is really great information. I know some of the folks joined in after I gave my introduction, so I just wanted to also give everybody a background on why we're doing this event. So, you know, today is the 102nd anniversary commemoration of Atatürk, who is the founder of Turkey. He proclaimed that May 19th is Youth and Sports Day for Turkey. So, you know, with the Turkish American National Steering Committee, we wanted to really take this time to really celebrate the young folks in the U.S. who are really pioneers of our community, and we wanted to show them how important civic engagement is, because you know, the Turkish community is up and coming, and you know, we wanted to make sure that the youth here are empowered to, you know, lobby for their rights, lobby for the rights of their families, and you know, for their family back home. So you know, we wanted to make, you know, I just wanted to let folks know why we're doing this specifically today, and why this day is very important. So you know, we would love to, you know, have May 19th every year to be a celebration of Turkish youth, National Youth and Sports Day with, you know, everybody who joined us. So next, I would actually like to call Mayor Andre Singh. My apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Oh, all right, so I believe we have a video from him. Yeah.
Marhaba, hoş geldiniz. I'm proud to stand with you in celebration of May 19th and Kemal Atatürk, who I think very highly of, the father and founder of modern day Turkey. As a matter of fact, if you ever get an opportunity to visit my office, I have a picture of Kemal Atatürk at City Hall. And I want to celebrate youth and sports, and today we're at a park. We're actually announcing that we're going to get a new playground for our children. We also want to thank Kemal Atatürk for his leadership and the courage to stand up against anyone who opposes republics.
Yeah, so it was nice and short. So we definitely want to thank the mayor for really you know, sending a video over. He's been a real big ally to the Turkish community and the Muslim community in New Jersey. I had the luxury of meeting him about a few weeks ago when the Turkish ambassador was visiting Patterson. So thank you so much for the mayor for sending his video and his team. I know a bunch of folks here on this panel actually work very closely with them. So with that, I'm actually going to call another close friend of mine who is also running for borough president, Cesar Vargas. Cesar Vargas has probably one of the most amazing histories that you could ever imagine. I'm actually gonna let him talk about it because when I first heard it, I was tearing up. We just couldn't believe the things he's went through, the hurdles, the roadblocks, and now today he's running for borough president. And you know, people are scared of him because they're like, oh, he has like once he announced, people were like, whoa, we didn't know Cesar was gonna run. It's a really great friend of mine. You know, he's also one of two power couples. So his wife, who isn't here, but you know, them two together kind of rule Staten Island. So with that, I'm gonna give Cesar the floor. Cesar, I know you have a lot to tell us, so please, like, you know, really, let us take some knowledge from you and let us know how the youth here could celebrating Turkish National Youth Sports Day and how we could really take this community above and beyond.
Well, muchas gracias, hermano. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me, and thank you to the Turkish American National Steering Committee for inviting me and sharing my story. And just as this is a very timely moment in not just in our city, in our state, but in our country and in the world in general. And I believe that all power is local, not just the politics, but our power lies in our communities. And for me, it really also begins with our stories. I came to the US when I was just 5 years old after my father passed away. My mom immigrated from Mexico with me and my 3 other siblings that were about 3 and 8 and 10 years old. And I remember that last day that we crossed the US-Mexico border. It was in the middle of the night and it was silence. And I can see the blue lights of the border dancing across the landscape of the rocky terrain. And all of a sudden, us just running. And throughout the just flash of us moving from one point to the other, I remember my mom falling down, and there was a big cloud of dust and dirt, and I couldn't see anything. But one of the things that I do remember vividly was her hand holding me tightly, reminding that she was there to protect me. And anything could have happened that night. We could have been killed. She could have been raped. So many dangers could have happened. Dangers that are happening right now as people leave their countries seeking a better opportunity. But because of her love and support, we were able to make it safely across. But also because of that love and the support, as well as the support of my community, I was able to graduate high school, graduate college, graduate law school. And in February 3rd, 2016, I took the oath and became New York's first undocumented attorney. And throughout that time, I learned the power of advocacy. I learned the power of sharing your stories. That even though I didn't have millions and millions of dollars to advocate and do legislative advocacy in state and federal in Congress, I did have my story. And along with young people from across the country, we got together and we mobilized students, undocumented young people who felt that the time for change was now. And we started advocating for the Federal DREAM Act. That is legislation that would have provided a path to citizenship for undocumented young people who came here as children. I started mobilizing in New York State and eventually to Washington, D.C., where we were able to meet with our U.S. senators, including Senator Chuck Schumer, as well as President Obama. And in 2012, we got a major victory where we were able to push the administration to take executive action and take action on the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, the DACA program, that allow young immigrants to have a work permit and just the ability to be free from deportation. So for us, it was this story that really told the country that we were here and telling our stories. And this is the point of our advocacy that we will love to really focus on, that when we are talking about government, when we're talking about advocacy, it's really the stories of our communities. It's the stories of each other. And I can tell you countless examples where I went to Ruby Red, Alabama, where I was able to tell my story, and conservative Republicans came up to me and said, I did not understand this issue until I met you. Or the story of a US Senator in Alaska that heard the story of a dreamer and was eventually supported the federal legislation because she heard that story. So our stories are very powerful. And as the Assembly member was mentioning, it's the power of our stories, the power of our community who are coming here and seeking change. And we don't have to wait for anyone. We don't have to wait to get permission to say, okay, it's your turn. When our community deserves change and when our community is seeking a better opportunity and government fails, or the current elected officials fail to listen to our communities, either because they don't care or because at some times, like we saw under the Trump administration, because he feels or they feel that our communities don't deserve the power of government, don't deserve the power of government and services to serve our communities. And we see very well where it's because our religion, the color of our skin, we are ignored, we are silenced. And for me, that enough is enough. And that is why I got involved in politics. I got involved in advocacy. And most currently, I got involved to run for Staten Island Borough President, especially on Staten Island, where we see incredible injustices, inequities, and educational, environmental, economic. We see this borough president, or we see a member of Congress who keeps vilifying our Muslim brothers and sisters, or our other religions, or immigrants, or so forth. And we should not tolerate that. And we should not even just accept tolerance in the community. We should seek immediate acceptance and support from elected officials. And that is why we launched the campaign. I became a US citizen just in February 15 of this year, after 30 years of being undocumented. And for me, it was a matter of choice with my family. Say, you know what? I cannot wait until someone tells me, Cesar, run for office, or Cesar, this is your opportunity to run. I took it upon myself with incredible support of this community, and just Mia Salman has been an incredible champion. Shahana has been an incredible champion in the community. And for me, it's making sure that we are taking action. And that is why we launched our campaign literally with zero money, with no political support. People told us, you know what, Cesar's not going to make it to the ballot. Cesar's not even going to get the required signatures for the petition. Cesar's not going to raise the money to really have a dent in this political process. A month later, we have exceeded our fundraising goal. A month later, we not only are we top of the ballot, well, we not only do we make the ballot, but we're on top of the ballot. And we're getting more support and endorsements from local unions, advocacy groups, and we're showing the power of our communities. Other communities, other elected officials have failed to even recognize what's happening in Palestine, and that is because they're trying to. I have no idea what they're trying to, but I do know that when it comes to doing what's right, we need elected officials to do what's right, to speak on behalf of protecting human rights here on Staten Island or across the world, including what's happening with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. So for me, this is why I'm running for office, because I want to make sure that Borough Hall here on Staten Island can have an opportunity where our communities can feel welcome, that our diversity can feel welcome, where we can have Turkish celebration and Mexican celebration in Borough Hall, in government. And that's not happening right now. So for me, that's why I'm running for office. And that's why I urge all our young people, not only because they're the future now. And we want you all to take action and say, this is my government, this is my country, and I'm going to run for office. I'm going to advocate. I'm going to push my elected officials. I don't care if I'm 14 years old or 16 years old, we still have power. And I want you all to know that I'm running because this is the time for us to create the change, because it's time that our communities have the power, our government. So I'll conclude there. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak with you all. And it's definitely a great honor. And if you all have any questions, definitely please reach out to us at vargas2021.com. And for us, this is about making history. And for me, this is just the beginning of what we can do in Staten Island, New York State, and across the country.
Thank you, Cesar, so much. And I also wanted to point out that most of your team members are young people, right?
Yes, no, absolutely. We have like our campaign manager is a long time Staten Islander. She's a nurse, DACA recipient, a Muslim woman who is leading our campaign. Our volunteers are 16, 18, 17, 20. We have about 20 volunteers who are with us almost every single day, knocking on doors with us. And while we are seeing our communities being silenced, we are showing the power of young people who are literally getting involved in politics, from knocking on doors to engaging local elected officials. So for us, never doubt that a small group of people can change the world, when in fact, that's the only thing that has changed. And I know all of us are going to change the world for generations to come, because we are already the future in this country.
Thank you, Cesar, so much. And I also wanted to let everybody know that his wife is also planning to run for office as well. So when I mean like they are a power couple, they are a power couple. You know, I think Cesar is kind of like most of us. He's actually still pretty young as well, and like him running for office also like he showed that how he could really take down barriers and really excel at just being himself and really being taking care caring for the community. So I know Cesar, you probably do have to jump. I don't do it. Does anyone have any one quick question? Because he might actually become the next borough president of Staten Island. So I want to make sure we get the time for that. So
thank you, and obviously incredible work today's Youth Day. And when we win for presidency on Staten Island, we are going to be actually having a meeting in Borough Hall because that's going to be the people's house.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much, Cesar. You're really awesome. And I know you have to go because he not only is he's running a campaign, but he's also working for a council member and running a nonprofit. So Cesar is a really, really busy guy. But we definitely look forward to celebrating your victory at Borough Hall. And hopefully next year, May 19th, we'll be doing this in person at Borough Hall. So we definitely look forward to that. And so yeah, Cesar, thank you so much. And I know you might have to jump off, but as long as you can stay on the call, that would be great. So with that, we do have a few more speakers that are coming in. So we'll have Assemblymember Charles Falls, who should be joining us shortly. And later on this afternoon, we're gonna have Congressman Jamal Bowman joining us as well. But I definitely want to take this time to really hear from the young people who are on this call to really tell us why they think it's important to be involved in civic engagement, and why today is, especially being youth, Turkish Youth Day, why it's important for them to really be recognized for today. With that, I just want to open up for a bit until we have our next callers come in.
A lot of shy people.
So, Halila, we'll start with you since you're the first one. You're still considered youth to us.
Yeah, civic activism is very important because you want to have a say in the process. What's going on. If you're not involved, politicians get elected, and they usually get elected with certain special groups, agendas, and they're very easily swayed one way or another. So as international community, Turkish community in this instance, if we are not involved in the process from the bottom up, starting from the local to the national, unfortunately, later on it gets to be too late that we can make a statement on the issues which are very dear and near to us. For instance, Sister Shana mentioned about the Islamophobic attacks on her well-being. Just being someone with Islamic faith, she was a target for maybe different types of attacks. We hear so often our sisters in this country are being attacked, being racially slurred, and to make the real impact, we have to be involved. We have to tell the politicians who are running, hear us. These are our sensitivities, these are issues. We want you to make a change on these issues if you get elected, and we should be involved in their campaigns. We should go door to door if they're our candidate, if we believe in them. Once they get elected, of course, we should follow up with them, make sure that they're keeping up with their promise.
Thank you, Brother Halil. So I know we have a few folks who would like to speak. I'm going to actually pass up to Fatih real quick. I think he has some folks he would like to call.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who's joining here. This is very great day, and we are honored. But for the voice and for the speaking, I would like to pass Ayşe Bayram. She's here. What would you like to say, Ayşe, for the day?
I would first like to start off by thanking everyone for their time. Hearing all your stories, and especially Shahana's, it's very inspiring to see a hijabi woman trying to enter into politics as a female myself. And I would love to join in myself in the future as well. I would just like to say that I think there should be greater conversation on Islamophobia and in the politics and stuff, especially from the effects of Donald Trump's presidency in the last 4 years. I believe it's a big problem that a lot of people don't see the greater effects of, and in the long term, especially the long-term effects.
Thank you. Asnur Hanım burada. Asnur Hanım, müsaitseniz, are you here? Like, if you have time.
Yes, I'm here. I can speak for a short time.
Please.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Asnur.
Okay, yeah, sorry, it's the morning here in California. Yes, I definitely want to advocate the younger community. I know after college, everything seems like you're just trying to survive, but we really need to raise our voice so we can have our rights be heard. No one's going to give us the microphone so they could listen to us. We have to ask for it and stand up for everyone in our community. So thank you for giving me this stage.
You're welcome. And I would like to say something for the other young people here. Please don't be shy. If you have something to say, you can just speak up. We are here to, you know, give our voice to Turkish Americans.
Yeah, sorry for our participants. So today is also legislation day, so a lot of people are either doing hearings and doing legislation, so they'll be joining in between their meetings. So I do apologize for. I know Charles is actually in session right now in the halls of.
Simon, can you tell us a little more about, you know, these politicians' backgrounds? And for instance, Charles Foes, he's a very important name for us. What does he do? Where he's elected from? He's an assemblyman. What does an assemblyman do? If you can give us a little background information so we know what they are. For instance, you know, district member, I didn't know. I just learned from Sister Shana that, you know, actually the district member is an extremely important person. You know, it may be thought that it's very simple, local, but you know, she's gonna be literally the bridge between the people and the politician. A lot of times, as you know, people are not interested in politics in the United States. So these people like Sister Shana will be, inshallah, she will be elected. You know, they're the people who can really motivate the crowds and direct the politicians in one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So with, well, I guess mentioning Charles Falls. So Charles Falls is an assembly member. He represents the North Shore of Staten Island. For a lot of folks, that's like a certain district of part of New York City. And he's actually the first African descent that is Muslim to be elected into the state assembly. I believe the first Muslim elected official for the state senate was, I believe, Hakeem Jeffries. Not Hakeem Jeffries. He's from
Robert Jackson.
Robert Jackson. There we go. Yeah, so he was the first Muslim to be elected, but Charles is the first African Muslim to be elected on Staten Island. First Muslim in general to be elected on Staten Island. And many of you know New York. Staten Island is the most Trump place you could ever live in. We have Trump flags everywhere. Trump supporters are everywhere to be. So the being the first, African descent, so African descent, and also being being Muslim, it's actually really it's not easy. So the fact that he was elected is a really big step. So what he does is he usually works in Albany to really pass legislation that really affects New York State and also his district. So he's been a huge champion for transportation, making sure that we have all the necessary transportation upgrades that we need. He's been before that he was with the Parks Department, so we have a lot of brand new parks thanks to him. And he's working really hard, especially with COVID within the last year, making sure that the people in his district are getting the resources. And many of the folks in Staten Island where he lives is actually on the lower end of the economic spectrum. So a lot of the more of the poor middle class are living on the North Shore, which is his district, and he's making sure that they're getting the proper resources, especially during the time of COVID, because COVID hit the middle class and lower income class the most. So he's been like the champion behind that. So I believe we have a few folks who wanted to speak. I believe we have Ibru Awad from TASC California, who would like to say a few words. Oh, sister, you're on mute.
Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum everybody. Merhabalar. I am attending from California. I am coordinator for California State TASC representatives. My name is Ibru Awad. Nice to meet you all. I see a lot of fresh and new faces. That make me feel old. Thank you all. So first of all, I'd like to thank all the non-Turkish speakers here. I listened to them really attentively and learn a lot from them, especially Dr. Shana. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. After you speak, immediately I start searching county committee members here where I live in Orange County. I am 40 minutes away from Hollywood and all the, lights and jingle bells. And as I was guessing, only county committee members exist here and actively running Democrats. I intentionally search internet and there is not much going on until partisan or Republican side by most Democrat county committee members, just like you guys mentioned. As Turks, we stand inside that side or in between, doesn't matter. I know, I understand. But of course, I would like to be part of them. In fact, actually, I was approached a couple years ago for the county board supervisor members, but because I run a lot of stuff here and I wear different hats, I was overwhelmed. I remember actually Republican committee members approached me to represent them as a Muslim woman. But like I said, I do have a lot of hats I wear, and I was very busy mother at the time. But I would definitely suggest Sister Aslanur here. She's way younger than me and she lives in San Francisco area. And all the other TASC members, encourage them to definitely right now after this meeting, start Googling their own county community member, board of supervisors, and somehow, get into there even as a volunteer and then progress as you go along. This is all what we learn here in this meeting since the morning I've been listening everybody. So we should all just stop working from our own circles or from our own homes or from our own messages only and start expanding our views and what we can do as a more political level, I believe. And I will still keep my search and I don't know, maybe I would like to join one of them. It just, like I said, my place is full this year, but I will do my best. As representatives, leaders here in California, I am open to any ideas. Anybody can contact me from my area and others as well. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity. And thank you all for all your support and good wishes on the country of Turkey, beautiful Turkey, humanitarian Turkey, leader of humanitarian country around the world. As of now, we are hosting close to 5 to 6 million refugees in our country. So I don't care about what is the day of today, but it is the day of, I think, humanitarian. As far as Turkish people, we are so proud, and proud American citizens as well. Thank you all. Have a great day, great weekend. Impact is coming. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sister Awad. I feel I believe I met a few times over Skype, over Zoom with the board, with the task board. So it's great to see the work that you guys are doing in your community in California. You know, I definitely want to hand it off to any folks who actually work with Sister Awad, because I know that you guys are doing a lot of work out there. So you know, and you know, the work that we do, even on the local level, actually does affect politics as well, even which is humanitarian work as well. I know TASC, you know, Brother Halil and Israfil can, you know, I guess take a deeper dive of like, you know, the TASC food boxes that we've been, you know, working with, because that has become, you know, a way of showing like folks that, you know, that the Turkish community and the Muslim community don't just care about themselves, they care about everybody else. Because a lot of communities with COVID got hit with so many, you know, difficulties, whether it's losing their job, losing their source of income, and, you know, they weren't able to pay for food. So, you know, the Muslim community and the Turkish community stepped in, was like, you know, we have so much to give, you know, we'll be willing to help. And many of the time, you know, at least with you know, I can speak for New York City, you know, a lot of, you know, government officials saw what all the hard work that the Muslim community and the Turkish community were doing, where they gave funds to these organizations. To, you know, to really, like, you know, make sure that their, you know, food pantries were stocked, or the organizations that were giving food away, that, you know, that they had enough funds to make sure they could purchase foods and really keep it going. So, you know, this is, you know, everything we do, it influences government and politics in any sort of way. So, you know, it's very, very important. So, and, you know, with young people, the best way to really talk about politics is, like, for example, tuition. I know most of us are in college or have graduated college, and we know how crazy tuition is. So, you know, I can't speak, you know, I can definitely speak for myself, where I can say we pay too much for tuition. And places like Turkey, for example, either it's very low cost or free at some times. So, you know, and this is how one way we could really impact politics here and government, where we can advocate for, you know, students who are coming after us, who don't have the opportunity to really go to school or to college because of the financial restraints. And, you know, government makes, in some governments, you know, rich people will make sure that people who are in the lower income or the middle class can't afford to go to college to get a better education, to really better their lives and their family. So, you know, these are some of the important things. I know we are still waiting for
Suleiman, if I can say something.
Yes.
Suleiman, if I can add something to what you said, guys, all the young people here, right here, please listen attentively. As I'm listening to everybody today, and as I'm looking even to my screen, do you know how proud I feel? It's 2021, and here we have a beautiful organization called TASC, which we never had when we first came to USA. I didn't see any of these in 1994, and that's when I stepped to USA, guys. Forget TASC organization and these beautiful opportunities that you guys have, the tips of your finger. We weren't even almost allowed to go to some stores or walk comfortably, especially during the wars, you know, Iraq wars and this and that, because we were head cover. So please, I'm encouraging all of you. After this meeting, just listen everybody what he said here, take notes, and just Google up and all. I wish I was 20 years younger. I swear nobody could have stopped me. I swear nobody could have stopped me except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everybody knows here witness, every witness is smiling. Sometimes I look at my tasks that I have at hand and I said, God, give me either 25 hours a day or 8 days a week, because it's just not enough. I have so many things to do and I can't. So we can't split ourselves, guys. We need you. Please get out for your homes, your cars, your college rooms, your books, internet, what, just be out there. If you can do nothing, wear your Hilal t-shirts, Turkish t-shirts, Muslim hats, whatever it takes. Just be visible, please, and take a lead. I wish I was 20 years younger. I could have been in any committee. I could have been an assemblywoman, and I'm not saying that lightly. It's just I can't right now. I'm so tired and busy.
Me too. I wish I was 20 years old younger.
Exactly. And I wish we have these opportunities, right? Halil Abi, yani wallahi, we didn't have these guys. We didn't have anybody holding our hands. We didn't have, mashallah, TASC. We were afraid to say Turks. When I entered the USA in 1995, when they ask you, where are you from? And non-Turkish people, please listen to me. I just was shy to say that I'm from Turkey, because the second thing gesture I get from them was the gobble gobble Turkey word. That's it. That's all they know about us, nothing else. So please say Alhamdulillah and move on with a better encouragement, inshallah. Right now we are in a very good place. Right now when they ask me, where are you from? All I have to say is, oh, I'm from Turkey. I'm from Istanbul. And the second thing I get, thank you for your humanitarian efforts, because our name is everywhere, guys. So please take it to the heart. Yes, I hate nationalism. We're all Muslim, alhamdulillah. But hey, if there is no one to lead Muslim countries sometimes, I like to say that we did a good job, alhamdulillah. Thank you all. I hope my message is clear.
No, and then actually, thanks to Salah, to build off of that. I mean, a lot of, what we see that's happening in Palestine, for example, the only countries that really is taking the lead is Turkey, Pakistan, and, and Malaysia. I mean, we have our foreign minister coming tonight, actually, to speak to the UN and really pushing every diplomatic output, and to the point where the US is just, discrediting Turkey. It's calling them an anti-Semitic country. I didn't notice until last night, until I saw the newsreels where, just standing up for what is right, we're being called names. So, definitely be proud of be proud of where you guys are from, and, for being Muslim and for being Turkish as well. Because, at this point, Turkey is the only one standing up for the rights of the Muslim community, and not just at home, but all around the world. And I say that they are also, fighting the cause everywhere. Here we're helping with undocumented community members, communities that are affected by brutality, white supremacy. We're all together when it comes to this. So definitely take part in that, and be proud that you guys, your community is very involved, and you guys are involved. So we definitely need to be very proud of that. And when it comes to government, don't think that it means working in an office or working on campaigns. There's so many ways to make your voices heard, whether it's through social media, for example. You'd be surprised how effective social media is to changing government. So a lot of people say that Twitter is what took down, the Egypt's former president, and it's kind of what put in Egypt on the ropes because of social media. The things that we're seeing in Gaza is because of social media. Education, me and my wife, we watch a lot of TikToks together where it is educational. So these are some things that you guys could do to really educate your community of for example, what's going on in Turkey, the humanitarian efforts that Turkey is doing.
Sevan, are you telling me I should open a TikTok account?
Halabi, if you open up a TikTok, I will be your first customer. I would love to see that.
I don't even have Instagram yet. I don't even have Instagram.
Like Ebru said, I cannot follow it up. I cannot find time just to do my basics. Oh, it's generational.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on TikTok, but my wife is. I'm just sticking to Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook for now. It's too much for me as well, but they all merge somehow together. So and that's something the next generation could take over from us. So yeah, with that, if there's any ideas that folks here could really work on. I know we're still waiting on a few more folks. Jamal Bowman, the Congressman Jamal Bowman, will be joining us at 3:30 today. So definitely want to let folks stick around for that, or rejoin. I believe there's more programs after this, if I'm not mistaken. And he's like a shining example of why it is important for us to get in government, because the person who he replaced was the most Islamophobic, anti-Muslim, anti-Turk, immigrant, the most racist of the racist, Democratic. Sadly, he held the time, being part of the Democratic Party, Congressman Elliot Engel. He pretty much unseated him, and he did it with the help of the Turkish community and the Muslim community. And that's something that we really want to make sure that we're playing a part of, and we're going to be playing a part of a lot more folks as well. And we're gonna be making some change. So Jamal Bowman's was, I guess, a prime example of why it is important for the Muslim community and for the Turkish community to really get involved. We'll have more people. Jamal Bowman is just the tip of the iceberg for us. We're gonna, we had Ilhan, we had Rashida, we had AOC. Jamal Bowman's next, and hopefully, I know Yasena isn't here yet, but she's gonna be our next congressperson, and she's gonna be bigger than all four of them. So we're very excited with that. And this also involves everybody here, and I'm excited to see who California decides to put in office. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So we're looking at you guys to for some big folks from there as well, and also from other places like Miami. We have a huge Turkish community in Miami, Dallas, and in Chicago. So we're really looking forward to that. I know Khalil Abi is going to be busy for the next year or two to help organize that.
I think I'm going to retire and do something else different.
May I say something? Okay. I just want to just put this little information for the young people. Allah has a plan. And that's why we're here. No matter where we are, our every single moment of existence, it is the plan of Allah. So sometimes we aware of it, sometimes we don't, and sometimes in our whole life, we don't even care. So this is the difference. We all think, praying and, fasting, these are the things I'm doing, I'm done, Allah is happy. We are not making Allah happy. We have to make sure we do our duty the way our Creator plan for us. I've been here quite long, and what I hear last couple of years, like if I go to any place and talk about the Turkish government, they're very negative. Sister Awad just said that humanitarian, if I go to USA border to anywhere else, they praise Turkey like no matter, nobody gonna come, but still Turkey will come and rescue us. This is the way the entire world sees the country, Turkey. But when you come to the United States, it's totally different. The difference is because the people are not educated. People don't have the information. So what you hear, Turkey is, negative about the Turkey government. And there is another group, I don't want to mention the group name, they work very hard in this country and local level. Just giving you an example. I was taking a fellowship with the Interfaith Center in the New York Interfaith Center. We had only one person is Turkish American, not American, Turkish. And his project is how to make Turkish refugees to establish it. And he raised the fund just for them under his organization. And it's not legal even though. And the way he portrayed the Turkey is like Turkey is the monster. So that's why you guys, number one, alhamdulillah, you understand you are American. You're Turkish, but you're American. You go to your local level when Aisha, Sister Awad, Sister Asnoor, and all this brother Omar, young people, very young faces, brother Fatih, go to your local leader, talk to them, what is Turkey does. Go to your council member if you're in a city. Go to your assembly member, like Charles Pauls is our assembly member. If you're a state senator, your congressman, and introduce Turkey to them, please. We need that. Because otherwise the wrongdoers are much higher than the real information. When I go there and talk about Turkey, it's different. But when you, the second generation of Turkey or immigrant generation of Turkish, you go to this legislature and talk about that, what is Turkey exactly doing? Believe me, they will love you. One meeting, they will start loving you. But the things, they are against you because you guys didn't meet them yet. And 10 years ago, we had a project is called National Project Meet Your Neighbor. So same thing I did in my precinct. All of us, we are under one precinct. So my precinct is 121, New York 121. So when I go to my precinct meeting, they say, okay, what can we do for you? I say, okay, I do the vice versa. Meet your Muslim neighbor. And guess what? When they go home and they meet their Muslim neighbor, they come back. These Trump supporters, they don't hate Muslims. So this is the way we have to work in our micro level. And inshallah, it will give a you will see how it's big change. It will come. Yeah, sorry.
I agree completely. Thank you so much. This is what exactly you guys should do. You guys should get out, wear your Turkish shirts, Muslim hats, whatever, you know. I'm gonna give you guys a quick example. When I graduated from college, I was 36 years old. I was a late bloomer. Like I said, I was a single mom. I raised my children first. So when I finished college, I was alone in the USA. I didn't have any family members. Obviously, they're all in Turkey. You know, they couldn't just travel at a GIF. So I was crying. When I took my diploma in my hand, I was crying. All I had was with me this. And I proudly put this on my back. And I got my diploma. And I was walking the stage. I see this mumble of people running at me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, they're going to hate me now? Some Americans, what's going on? Those are Somalian sisters. They came and hugged me. And they start crying and yelling in Somalian language. I'm like, what is this? They told me, thank you because you're Turk. They find me in the whole California, guys, between all this crowd. They come hugging me because of this. Because I didn't know at that time, President Erdogan had Somalia with millions of dollars, money, you know, resources. They built the water wells for them, food boxes, whatever. So those Somalian people came and started kissing me and hugging me, sisters. I was so proud. And I wasn't alone after that moment in my graduation. So I never forget that. Meaning that take outside who you are. There are people who loves you. And there are people that dislike you or who don't like you. And don't tell me people in America don't know Turkey, don't know you. That's why. No. I don't want to go in politics, but they still know who we are. They especially are afraid of Turkish power because they know what a powerful nation we're coming from. You know, there's a reason they call Turkey a Turkey. There's a reason they call Ottoman a piece of furniture. Would you ever believe? And I'm not going to go here now, no racism, this and that. But guys, come on. Why in the world you would call a piece of furniture Ottoman? Something you put under your feet? Because Turks were out there. Everybody knew they are power. You can never put Turkish, you know, empire, Ottoman empire under your feet. So here's a small clue for you. So don't be afraid of who you are. In fact, the only reason they don't like you because they know who you are. They know your history. They know you have hundreds of brave history. So take that out. Don't be afraid. It's not the 90s anymore. And
yeah, thank you so much. And
everywhere I go, everything I do here in California, a lot of assemblywomen since last 3 years, they all know me because I'm Turkish. The second thing after I meet anyone that I mention is Istanbul, how beautiful it is, our history, our historical places. So that's what you should do. Don't be afraid, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. I think you and Sister Shana should really connect. You know, you're the opposite sides of the country. I think you two really need to connect because you guys might do a lot of great work together. So I am instigating this this partnership between the two of you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yes.
I know I see Assemblymember Charles Fall. I think he's just trying to get logged in, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll give him a few minutes because I know he's logged in. I know he's on the floor as well. So whenever he's ready, we'll give him the chance to really speak. So again, Assemblymember Charles Falls is not only my mentor, he's kind of the reason that I got into government. Yes, Charles, you're here. So I'll give you. I know you're.
I'm so sorry. I actually have very bad reception, so I'm just gonna have my audio on. If that's okay with you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, bro.
Okay, so assalamu alaikum. Good to see you, Suleiman and Shahan and everybody that's on. I'm very glad to be on here to talk about civic engagement. But also to, also send my blessings and well wishes to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. And I also understand and want to wish a happy Turkish Youth Day as well. So, you know, some of you may be aware already, but just a brief background. I've been serving in the state assembly now for 3 years, and well, this is my 3rd year. Prior to that, I served as chief of staff in the city agency for the city of New York, and I worked for the mayor of the city. And then that was the year too where we were able to make sure Muslim holidays was a reality, and it's something that I'm focused on at the state level to make that a reality. And I want to give a big shout out to, you know, people like Sister Shahana and Suleiman and Masab, all people that were very instrumental during that time to make sure that, you know, we turn a lot of those visions to reality. And it really goes to show too, as an example, what happens when, you know, you are involved and engaged in the community. You know, your voice and advocacy can literally change laws or change how things have been going on for years. And but it all starts with being engaged civically, you know, whether it's through a community board, a civic organization, or, you know, or you want to create your own group to, you know, fight for a cause that's near and dear to your heart. You know, if you live in a community and you always have a question on, you know, why is this area abandoned, or why are people in this part of the city not being treated correctly? You know, there's something you could always do about it. But it starts with, you know, speaking up with it, on it, and turning those concerns into action. You know, so I guess with that being said, Suleiman, is there anything you want me to hit on, touch on, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you give us like a quick like rundown of like, you know, the importance of like, you know, Muslim youth kind of getting involved. I know, and like Turkish youth, because I know you were kind of the one that pushed me into government, and like I would never have been here without you pushing me, and also my mom as well. But you know, I guess if you could try to explain like the importance of like young people really getting involved, especially Muslim and the Turkish community.
Absolutely. So the importance of young people getting involved, you know, we want to make sure that if we need more resources, right, for programming in the community, or after school programs, or job opportunities in a certain area, or internships in a certain area. You know, one of the things that I always find helpful is when the youth come lobby lawmakers in Albany, you know, and it's always the youth with adults, right? But if you see more of that, especially when it comes to like what we're looking for in the Muslim community from our youth, I think it's also very important, right? So for instance, I know there's been a big push to make sure that there's halal food on the department, that the Department of Education provides halal food, right? I think that could be a more effective campaign, and it could become a reality if we see more youth advocating for the halal food, right? Not to say that, you know, the older people that's advocating for it doesn't make a difference. It does make a difference, but I think it does go a long way when the youth is engaged in that respect. You know, I'll give you another example. When I was at the Parks Department as chief of staff, one of the things that the agency has never done before was have, you know, open its fields up in the evening time during Ramadan, right? And I remember working with Suleiman on this when I was there to, you know, make sure that, you know, we have some sort of activity for our youth. But where did that come from? That actually came from the youth, right? So we can make that happen. You know, so I think that's the power of the youth being involved and getting active. And if you think something is impossible, you should get that out of your mind now, because nothing is impossible. As long as you start somewhere, anything is possible.
Yeah, thank you so much, Charles. And you know, I also think like being very involved, like, you know, taking part in like for folks who are in government to really influence other folks, like younger generation, like what we're doing here to really get involved in government. So it's a real big deal, because to be honest, if Charles didn't push me to take an internship that I actually didn't want, because I was just only doing it just as a favor to him, I would not have been in where I am now. So, you know, that internship kind of changed my life, and Charles mentoring me all throughout that whole internship kind of opened doors for me to work at the UN, then back in the mayor's office, and, you know, alhamdulillah, now back in nonprofit, and kind of just got me, you know, excited about campaign work, which a lot of people find boring, but now it's like we're seeing the, you know, his hard work coming to fruition now. So again, thank you, Charles, for really taking the time really with us. I know you're super busy.
Suleiman, I love you. I love you so much that I couldn't give you an option, so I had to keep you with me.
I know. You know, once I got the call back, I actually didn't even try that hard on that. Once I got the call, I was like, oh man, I can't say no. They're in this internship now, so I was like, all right, gotta do it. Which is great. So,
but also, right? Look at the domino effect of that, right? Because after you know, we were able to get like 3 or 4 more folks in the Muslim community. Some of them ended up getting jobs at City Hall, like Jabril, and you know, and Masab started working for me at some point, right? So it's like it was all, you know, creates a domino effect. Once we have one of our brothers and sisters working in government, you know, we could always help more out. So that's also another impact, that domino.
Yep, definitely. And again, thank you so much, Charles. I want to open up for, you know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you mind? Just a quick question to Assemblyman Falls. I just want to thank your time for being here with us. Me and many other students I know, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, have had many difficulties finding internships this summer within government. What are some ways that you recommend reaching out or trying to get involved in any form?
Hey, I'm sorry, I missed the first part of your question. Can you just repeat that one more time?
So as a college student, many students, such as myself, are trying to look for internships within government. But we face a lot of difficulties with COVID-19. Do you have any recommendations for ways we can reach out, search, or to get involved in some way?
Absolutely. Well, if you're interested in an internship with my office, send your resume to Masab or Suleiman or Ruben if he's on here, and then we could take a look at it because we are accepting interns right now. So that's definitely something, you know, we could work on. And then if you're interested somewhere else, if you're like a little bit more specific.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll also put my email on the chat here. So if anyone's really interested, please send me your resumes, and I will forward it over to someone who follows office for interest with his office. But also, I would also say sign up for the TASC email. We could actually send e-blasts about potential internships for the youth here. So we'll definitely work on that. So I'll work with Fatih and Serfil and Khalil Abe to make sure that, you know, we get some internship informations out there, because luckily it's much easier now. You can work from home, but there are internship availability out there.
She is very successful at her school. She has a very great GPA, 4.0, I think, right? Can you tell us? Yeah, can you tell us your education? What do you do in school? And you know, it will be helpful for, you know, what you're really looking into it, you know.
Well, currently I'm a student at Seton Hall University. I am doing a double major in economics and finance with a minor in legal studies and business and political science. I'm finishing up my second year, and I currently, my grades-wise, my cumulative is around a 3.84 GPA. And hopefully after I finish my undergrad, I have plans to move on to law school and enter into government or legislation.
MashaAllah.
Great. So we definitely need to hook you up with some internships. So Ruben, who is actually Assembly Member Charles Hall's Deputy Chief of Staff, put his email. So definitely reach out to him. He's a great resource. Reach out to me if you want any other resources as well. We put both of our emails on the chat. Again, thank you so much to Assembly Charles Falls for really taking the time. I know everybody's super busy today. It's like the middle of the week. Also, everybody has meetings, hearings, and also are on the floor voting. So thank you guys so much. The program is actually not over yet. We actually are just going to take a quick pause for the day. We also have Congressman Jamal Bowman joining us at 3:30. I really highly recommend everybody to join that, because like he is kind of one of the him and Charles are kind of are like, I guess, our poster campaigns of how the Muslim vote and the youth vote kind of put folks like them in office. And these are the folks who are advocating for us without us even telling them what to advocate for. So, they're always keeping the best interests of the community in mind. Before I actually close out, I actually want to give a few minutes to Brother Muhammad Khan. So he was actually given a shout out by Assembly Member Mike Miller. And a lot of you don't know, Muhammad Khan's definitely going to run for office one day. He just hasn't thought of it yet. So I just want to give him a quick shout out and just give a few words just so you could explain some of the work you do and how it's actually impacting politics in your neighborhood. So I know you're here, so don't hide.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Sulaiman. Thank you. This is actually a very productive event. I think it's very much necessary for the Muslim community to not only be engaged in such matters, but also for the youth. We look up to a lot of youth. We look up to Sulaiman. We look up to Halil as people that leads the youngsters, right? I know Musa followed your footsteps. I know I follow your footsteps. We tried to do what you did. We tried to do what your mother, the legacy she has put together, what Halil and TASC has done, and I think having you guys speak with all the elected officials from Assembly, former Assembly, Congress, and all the other speakers that you guys have gotten today only encourages us to do more, because as we get more and more engaged, I think we make a change, a better change that we want to see and we want to accomplish. And you've kind of led the way for a lot of us to go into the political realm, right, and understanding it and getting more involved and having jobs in those fields as well. Just a quick thing that I would like to say is that for me, when I grew up, I didn't have much people to look up to and follow footsteps for. And alhamdulillah, now I think we're in a much better position as a Muslim community, as a Turkish community, as a group, as a whole. I think we're in a better position because we have so many leaders to look up to. We have imams that are not only leading Salah, but is also leading the Muslim community in the front of politics. We have organizations such as TASC, such as Majlis Shura, such as other organizations that are willing to lead the Muslim community in the right direction that will only better us and make us stronger as a community, as youth, and they're trying to empower the youth. Seeing people in their 20s be able to do what we're able to do now, seeing Sulaiman be where he is, being in Charles' office to now being former in the mayor's office, now going to his next place and being involved in TASC, only inspires so many. And there's a lot of times we won't know how many people we've inspired, but because we won't ever get to speak to them or never see them, but they'll see us and they'll get inspired. And that's what it is for all of us. And there's people that we all inspire, and there's people that has inspired us. And so always remember that the next youth that you meet can be inspired by you, just like you were inspired by someone else. And thank you, Sulaiman, for the shout out. I don't deserve it, and I think you guys have done a fabulous job with this event, and I think we need more of this.
Thank you, Mohammed. So I know we have one question from Jenks. So Brother Jenks, you could definitely just jump in and ask a question now. I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to ask questions here.
Mr. Jenk, would you like to add something?
Okay, so I guess with that, we're gonna end at least this part of the presentation. So we'll take a break from 1 o'clock. So we'll reconvene at 3 o'clock. We actually have a very exciting panel for 3 o'clock. Congressman Bowman is, I can't really highlight him enough how amazing work he's been doing. Like he's somebody that we put in office, and he's been backing our community ever since he's been there. And him being a freshman in Congress is also like amazing to see like the work he's doing and the stance he's taking, especially when it comes to Palestine and Turkey. Like a lot of people would, either throw those issues under the bus to make sure that their political career gets off right. But since joining office, he's made sure that he's taking a very strong stance and calling out Israel and really supporting Turkey in Congress. So with that, please definitely let's reconvene at 3 o'clock. I will pass over to Dr. Khalil for any closing remarks, and we'll see everybody at 3.
Looking forward to see everybody at 3 o'clock. General Bowman is very important, and he's going to be talking to us about what we can do. It's going to be a great experience, one of its kind. So it will be from him to us, personal level. So looking forward to see it at 3.
New York congressional primary to decide who will run on the Democratic ticket just took place, with Jamal Bowman beating 16-term Congressman Eliot Engel. You don't remember Eliot Engel? Well, maybe this will refresh your memory. Yes, that's Congressman Engel saying he wouldn't care about the Black Lives Matter movement if he didn't have a contested primary. Engel's loss, despite this obvious gaffe, wasn't certain, however, with establishment Democrats and Republicans nearly coming to his rescue at the last second. Why might this defeat be a watershed moment for progressive candidates in the future? I'm Tahar Ross, and I'll tell you why, in brief. Eliot Engel was first busted during the COVID-19 pandemic for lying where he was quarantining, opting to stay in his home in Maryland instead of staying in his home district with his constituents. Engel may also have had his aides mislead the public about his whereabouts, having them say he was helping out in his congressional district. Later, when the truth was uncovered, he doubled down on his story and said he was in both places when approached at his home in Maryland by a journalist. You would think that after these series of public humiliations, establishment candidates would bail on Engel and support Bowman. But you would be wrong. Engel received unprecedented support in the run-up to his primary, including being Hillary Clinton's first endorsement of the 2020 election. Clinton was joined by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, all who rejected endorsing middle school principal Jamal Bowman in favor of endorsing Eliot "I wouldn't care about Black Lives Matter" Engel. But they weren't the only ones. Engel also received millions of dollars in super PAC money from both Democrats and Republicans. While Engel had all the moneyed establishment candidates behind him, Bowman was endorsed by progressive heavyweights Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Elizabeth Warren. Jamal Bowman's win is just the first of potentially 2 or 3 pivotal primary races remaining that may increase the clout of progressives in Congress. While it looks like Suraj Patel and Charles Booker have lost, Richie Torres and Mandela Jones have won their primaries. Ocasio-Cortez's own primary victory against well-funded Wall Street darling Michelle Caruso Cabrera, coupled with her successful campaign for Bowman, show that progressive politics wasn't just a 2018 fluke, and that the public may actually want real change in Washington. As those remaining primaries are decided, we'll know for sure whether progressive American politics is just a fad, or if the Democratic establishment will have to come to terms with being a party of progressives.
So thank you so much for you guys for watching that, and we have the honored guest of Congressman Jamal Bowman. So just to give you guys like a quick overview of what that video is. So Congressman Jamal Bowman literally fought against the establishment, against heavyweights. He is literally like everything that we all are hoping for how Congress should look like and how Congress should be. He went against the establishment. He went against big money. He went against anyone that they say we should be fearing. And now he is representing us in Congress. I want to give him some time. His time is very precious. He actually just came from a vote. So I want to give the floor to him, make sure we give him enough time to speak and really just shed some light on how awesome he is and how we, us celebrating, Turkish Youth Day could really take a big impact from them. So, Congressman, the floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yep, you're good, Congressman.
Yes.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay, this is really weird because I can't see any of you. What in the world is going on right now? I apologize. Let me try to fix this.
Do you see yourself at the minimized on the right corner?
Say it again.
Do you see yourself at the right corner, minimized?
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm going to get it right in a second. Thank you all for your patience. You said bottom right corner?
No, right, right up corner.
Hold on, wait. Oh, there we go. How y'all doing? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Sorry about the technical difficulties, and thank you for that amazing introductory video. It captures pretty much how we got to this point, but we have a lot more work to do. We have a lot more organizing to do, and I look forward to doing that with you. First, I want to thank the Turkish American National Steering Committee for putting this together. We had the awesome opportunity to do a food distribution with you all in part of my district, New Rochelle, a few weeks ago. I'm greatly looking forward to working and collaborating with you all more in the future. I want to talk a little bit about how I got here. Before I was a member of Congress, I was a teacher and educator for 20 years. Originally, I did not plan on becoming an educator, much less running for office and becoming a member of the United States Congress. Like many kids, I wanted to be a professional athlete. Through the suggestion of a friend, I decided to get into teaching. After a decade of working with children as a guidance counselor, teacher, and dean, I had the opportunity to found a new school, the Cornerstone Academy for Social Action in the Bronx. I had the incredible opportunity to hire my own staff with a shared philosophy for education who believed in what we were trying to do. At CASA, we built a holistic program based around student voices and cultural awareness and student creativity. So my career has been all about children, ensuring that children get the love and the care and the opportunity that they need in order to unlock their brilliance. And now that is what I've been trying to do as a member of Congress, getting resources to kids who need it and expanding opportunities for all of our young people and marginalized people overall. So first of all, I want to encourage you to think about becoming an educator because it is one of the most important things you can do in the world and for your community. Educators are transformative change agents, and it's exactly what our kids need, particularly in this moment. If you care about social justice, if you care about racial justice, if you care about innovation, and most importantly, if you care about humanity, become a teacher. There are amazing kids who have unlimited potential and ideas who need someone who cares about them and their learning. Even if becoming an educator is not for you in general, I hope that you all will stay involved in your communities and to get civically involved. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to run for office. There are many, many ways for youth and young adults to get involved in politics and civic responsibility. You can volunteer, you can vote, you can attend city council meetings, you can help with the campaign, you can protest on issues that you care about. You can run for school board, you can be a part of the school board, you can go to county meetings. Whatever you are passionate about in your community, you have to engage those in power and hold them accountable to meeting your needs, but also the needs of the people in your community. Running for office is an option, and that is great if you decide to do it. We need more young people in politics, and we need more progressives in politics. But it's not the only way. And I hope you'll stay active and involved in the issues that matter most to you so that we can work on making this world a better place. Thank you so much for having me. Peace and love to you all.
Thanks so much, Congressman. I know we have some anxious young folks who want to ask you some questions. I know your time is a little bit valuable, so we're going to take one or two questions from folks, and we can definitely have you on your way. I know it's a little bit busy on the floor today and hearing, so we'll try to make this quick. So I'll open it up for questions from any of the young folks that we have here today. And Congress, just want to let you know that today is also National Youth Day in Turkey. So this task pretty much came together. It was like, what can we do to really involve the youth in the United States in celebrating, a National Youth Day. And TASC came up with the idea, like, it's important for us to get engaged now. So this is kind of the webinar we put together. So, we want to thank you for coming out for that.
Of course, absolutely.
So I'll open up for anybody. If nobody wants to, I'm going to point out Brother Halil again. But first, let's give the youth the chance to, if anyone wants to ask the comments or any quick questions. All right. If no one, I'm going to hand over to Brother Halil real quick because I know he's got some questions he wants to ask the congressman, and we can kick it off from there. So, Brother Halil, so I'm going to have you go first.
Congressman, for working with us for community activism and teaching us this one of the kind exposure for the Turkish community, especially in particular youth, to get acclimated into the politics of the United States and be more active and be involved from the get-go. We see and we look after you and we learn from you a great deal. I'm hoping to keep this relationship going for many years to come. And as I said during the food drive, we'll be with you, behind you, along with you throughout your career. We already are amazingly, impressed by your activism, your agenda, for everything you do for American community, America, for Muslim community in particular. I know.
Can't hear you, Halil. We can't hear you.
It may be a poor connection. I'm sorry. I know there is a lot you're working on in the pipeline for the betterment of the Muslim community at large throughout the world, and I really commend you on that. I'm looking forward to work with you. Most of our youth today, the question that they raise, especially the young ones who are in the college, asking for internship opportunities. If your office with Suleiman allow us to look for young minds and bright youth to work with you as internships, as volunteers, and you get educated, that would be great. Other than that,
that's that's fine. Definitely reach out to our office for internship opportunities. We're going to have many over the summer, and by summer I mean in June and July. So definitely reach out. I believe you all know how to get in touch with my office, so reach out and yes, absolutely, let's do it. And again, thank you for your kind words. And the one thing I would say is, I'm not anyone special. I just, my mother raised me. I try to follow the things that she taught me. And, I believe in a world of equality, and I believe in a world of justice and peace. And I want to do everything in my power to make that world a reality. And I love people, and I love people from different parts of the world and different cultures because I learned so much from them. And what I've learned from people, regardless of their background, whether they're Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish, from Turkey, from Palestine, from New York, from Chicago, is that we're all a human family. And if we remember that and we continue to keep that centered in the work that we do, I think we will be okay. It's just unfortunate that for so long, we have valued some human life over other, right? We've allowed, it's a caste system, and if you're a white man, you're at the top. And if you're a white woman, you're right below, and everything else is below that. And we've allowed that to just be normal, and we've allowed a world where, if, my freedom has to depend on your oppression, and that the world should not be that way. We all should be free. We all should be equal. And we have to fight to build a world where that's the case. And the only way to get there, in my opinion, is to tell the truth. tell the truth about ourselves, tell the truth about the world, tell the truth about each other, and really work together and listen and learn to build that better world. So, you know, I just, you know, justice is the thing that drives me, and the brilliance of our kids, our young people, you know, because young people have to be trained to hate somebody else. If they're not trained, they'll just engage with each other as equals. So we have to really tap into the young people and unlock who they are, because they can help lead us and guide us to where we need to go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Congressman. I know your time is also very valuable. We do have 5 minutes. I think we have...
Thank you so much. Can I say something, Suleiman?
Yes, please.
I was gonna keep quiet, but I can't. After this speech, man, I just wanna come hug you. I love you. You are exactly why you immigrated to this country. You remind me of America before 2001. I swear to you, Mr. Bowman, I remember that America, beautiful. I was here migrating in 1995. Beautiful, you know. You come from the border, police officers greet you. They ask you, hey, did you bring some baklava with you? That was the America that I came to. So I love you. Thank you so much. You are such a refreshing mind and soul and a God's good creation. Thank you so much. I am, by the way, talking to you guys from California, and it is very, very biased against, you know, Turks and Muslims in California, as you can imagine. We have the whole problem with FETÖ going on. We have the whole problem with Armenians going on. Even though we love, respect everybody here, you know what I mean? I'm trying to reach out my congressmen. I have reached out to Alan Lowenthal. Didn't hear anything. We reached out to Kim Young. Didn't hear much anything. And my next agenda is Josh Newman. I'm going to try to reach out to that senator this time and see what we can do. If you know them, say hi from California and let them know that, yes, we have Turkish people here, even though we are just a little bunch, but we are proud American citizens. I am a 27-year American citizen myself. What else? All we want is peace, love, and to help others. As you can see, we are a very humanitarian people by birth, by originality. It just was so of us from my parents. So it was such a refreshing to see you, Congressman. I wish I lived in your area. I could have helped you a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing up 2001, because you're absolutely right about that. You know, that's when a big shift happened in our country. Across the world, there's unfortunately been so much conflict for hundreds of years, and rooted in our differences, whether it's religious or ethnicity or whatever. But 2001 here is when I saw things really shift in the wrong direction, and it became very public. So I became a father in 2001. My firstborn son was born on May 30, 2001. And you know, how many months later? So June, July, August, September. But 4 months later is when 9/11 happened. And, you know, I remember, you know, I have friends, very close friends who are Muslim, who mothers wear the hijab, like they, you know, this is how they work from work. And my friend had to go pick up his mother from work because she couldn't even walk down the street. And since then, Islamophobia has exploded, and George Bush and the rhetoric around terrorists and evildoers and all of that just became part of common culture in how we talk about, you know, Muslims from the Middle East and generalize it, right? And Islamophobia exploded after that. But then it didn't stop there. It continued to divide just all of us in the world. We became people who feared each other as opposed to people who really learned from each other. And I tell people all the time, I'm biased. You know, I grew up in a community that was very diverse, like Puerto Rican, African, Dominican, Irish, Italian, everybody, Muslim, everybody. So we all played together. We went to school together. It was just normal for us to think about humanity. But now that I'm in Congress, I'm learning that there are groups of people who only think about themselves, and they only think about their freedom and their power. And they think if you even mention somebody else, then it's taken away their freedom and their power. It's almost like a disease of the mind. And that's what we're trying to cure. We're trying to cure this disease of the mind that thinks, oh, I'm a man, you're a woman, I'm better than you. I'm straight, you're gay, I'm better than you. Oh, you know, trans people don't matter. Muslim people don't matter. Jewish people don't. We got this world where that's the case. And now we got to figure out how to bring it back together. So we got a big job. But I believe it's possible because I'm an educator and I see what my kids are like. And again, if kids aren't raised with that disease, they will be the transformative agents we need.
Thank you so much, Congressman. I know you also have to run out, so this actually concludes our day of Capitol Hill. We still have a few more folks who will be sending their welcome videos, so we'll share that with everybody. We have Assembly Member Sohran Madani, who will send his video later today. Again, thank you so much, Congressman, for taking the time out. I know you're super busy. Your team is amazing. Like, I call them on Monday, and with 3 hours, they're like, yes, they'll be there, so no worries. And we hope that, yeah.
Thank you so much. Peace and love, everyone. Be well. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll stay in touch. This is one of many. Hopefully next year we'll be celebrating this in person. We'll have the Congressman in person, and we'll hopefully maybe we can do this at Capitol Hill next year. So thank you everybody for joining, and assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.